Hi, this is Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I've got this cute Back on Your Feet card to share with you. Let's get started. For this card, we're going to be using the Back on Your Feet stamp set. Let me set this aside and we'll get started. I've got a piece of basic white and the giraffe from Back on Your Feet and my early espresso ink pad, and I'm just going to tap on some ink, making sure that he's well covered, and then let's put him down here and give him a good all over rub and time to transfer that ink. Okay, so I'm going to set him aside a second to dry. And then while he's drying, I've got a piece of basic white cardstock that I've cut with one of the stitched rectangle dies. You can see the little stitched edge around here. And we're going to color our background using Stampin' Blends. And for the top part of this, I'm going to start with my color lifter and kind of saturate my cardstock, and then I want to put on a little bit of the dark balmy blue so that it has some texture, and then I'm going to color all over with my light balmy blue. And that's about as far down as I'd like to go with that. And then I'm going to come over this whole thing with my color lifter. And that will give us our sky. Oops. And let's recap the Stampin' Blends here. And then down at the bottom, I want to put in some grass. And so I'm going to start with light old olive, and then I've got my light mossy meadow. So I just want to kind of streak in some grasses, and then I'm going to come in with my light mossy meadow and add some texture. Some of these will come on up into the sky. As you can see, it's not hard coloring, just a little bit of, and we're going to add a little more of that light old olive in here. Okay. And now we're going to come back to our giraffe. Let's set this over here. And for the giraffe, I've got my light cinnamon cider, light soft suede, and light crumb cake. And I'm going to zoom in here, as this is a smaller piece for our coloring. And I'm going to start with the light crumb cake. And just color around all of our dots, and I'm going to let the stamped shading, in this case, work as our shading instead of bringing in a second color. Quick and easy, as you can see. And then I'm going to use the bullet tip of the light cinnamon cider. Quick and easy coloring. I love the vibrancy of color that you get from the Stampin' Blends. Just going to add just a touch of color inside the ears there, and then come back with the bullet tip on the outside of the ears. And now if you go back over those little shading marks with your light crumb cake, now that the first layer has dried, you can add a little bit of shading. And then let's come in with the bullet tip from the light soft suede. We'll color the horns and the hooves. Okay, and there we go with our giraffe. Let me grab my paper snips, and I'm going to cut him out. And I am leaving just a little white border around, as you can see. And I turned the paper, not the scissors. It will give you a cleaner cut line. And if you're not comfortable with fussy cutting, I have a one simple trick for easier fussy cutting video on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. I'll try to remember to link it here so that you can click that right as you're watching this video. And let me come up between the legs here. And then I'm going to bring in my old olive and just add a little bit of green between the legs there. And let's see how he's going to sit here. We'll add a little bit of balmy blue right here around the tail. And that way it won't be so bright white. Let me put this out of the way, and let's zoom back out. Okay, so next we need to start and put our card together. So we have our background piece, and we've got our giraffe, and I've used some of the Give It a Whirl dies for our next pieces. And I've got this little stitched outline in Daffodil Delight, and then it also cuts the circle, and I've got some stitched clouds, and then I've used the Forever Flourishing dies to cut a piece of Highland Heather. So I'm going to adhere this piece first, and we're not going to use all of it. Just checking to see what's going to be coming onto the edge of my cardstock here. Okay. And now I'm going to take my snips and cut the rest of this away. Let's move those over here with my scraps. And then I want to add my circle here for the sun. And I'm going to put one dimensional right there. Let's move this up just another smidge so that that corner is covered. Let's see if we can pull this loose. Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay. So then we're going to trim this piece. And we're going to add our circle here. And I'm only putting adhesive on about half of it. Okay. Trim here. And then make sure I'm not moving this. And trim here. Okay. So now we have our sun. Let me just put my circle out of the way over here, as it's got a little bit of glue on it, and we don't want to glue everything. Next, we're going to do a little bit of stamping here, and then we'll finish putting our card together. So let me bring in my Stamparatus, and we'll put our layer in here and hold it down with magnets. And then I've got my grid paper here, and or grid sheet here, and I'm just going to put my sentiment down, and we're going to do a test stamp first to make sure that it is straight. And that's where my grid comes in handy. I do give a set of grids for the Stamparatus to all of my customers who purchase a Stamparatus from me. Okay. And then I'm going to ink that one more time in the early espresso. Make sure this is good and dark. Okay, and let's move this out of the way. And I'm going to close up that early espresso ink. All right, so now I've got my card base and dimensionals. Now my card base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. It's cut from thick basic white cardstock. pull off all of my backing pieces. And then let's line this up with our grid paper here. Okay, and we'll bring in our giraffe. Let's move this one over just a little bit. If you lightly put your dimensionals down first, you can move them. And I want a mini dimensional out here at his nose. And then we're going to put mini dimensionals down here by his feet. Let's move those out of the way for a moment. Okay, and then let's bring in our clouds, and I'm going to add those with some dimensionals. So this first bit of cloud, I'm going to add some multi-purpose glue over on this thin part. And then we'll add this larger cloud. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of multi-purpose glue here. And then let's grab that mini dimensional and put down here. Just thinking about how these are going to line up. Okay. And I want one more mini dimensional out here. And I've pulled all the backing pieces off. And there you go. Our Back on Your Feet, This Is Not Good card. Thanks for stopping in today. This was Sara Levin, the Artful Inker of theartfulinker.com. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your card making friends. If you're in the United States, please do some of your shopping in my Stampin' Up! Store. You can find a link for that in the description below. And when you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell, you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Have a great day. Bye.